Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. The Vote Chori vortex has consumed the entire monsoon session and is showing absolutely no signs of dying down. If anything, the fire and fury is entering into some very dangerous territory. An entire opposition up against a constitutional body. Today this happened. It's on your screens. The opposition showed up in Parliament carrying posters that said Vote Chori. Now, nothing new there. Except today, they had pictures of the 3 election commissioners on it. There it is once again. In Bihar, on his Vote Adhikar Yatra, Rahul Gandhi issued yet another warning to these 3 men in the posters. Listen in to what he said.
आप एक बात समझ लो, मोदी जी की सरकार है, वो सब ठीक है। केजरीवाल जी ने कहा आपने बीजेपी की मेंबरशिप ले रखी है, आप बीजेपी के लिए काम कर रहे हो, मगर एक बात समझ लो, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा जब यहाँ पे बिहार में और दिल्ली में इंडिया गठबंधन की सरकार होगी, फिर हम आप तीनों को देखेंगे, कार्रवाई आपके खिलाफ करेंगे और पूरा देश जिससे आपने चोरी की है।
संविधान पे हमला राहुल जी लगातार कर रहे हैं। ये चुनाव आयोग को और सारी संवैधानिक और स्टैट्यूटरी जो भी संस्थाएं हैं उनको बदनाम करने का ये लगातार जो प्रयास राहुल जी का है, वो देश को विनाश के कगार पे ले जाना चाहते हैं, जो कभी भी संभव नहीं है। इस देश की 140 करोड़ जनता राहुल जी के मनसा को पूरी तरह समझती है और उसको पूरी तरह नकारेगी।
Ladies and gentlemen, here's the question. Has the Election Commission left us with more questions than answers? S.Y. Kureshi was the 17th Chief Election Commissioner of India. He served between 2010 and 2012. At a time when the Election Commission is under intense fire from the opposition over SIR and has its credibility under scrutiny, Mr. Qureshi's voice becomes critical. I have more than a couple of questions for him. Mr. Kureshi, first things first, thank you very much for your time. Let me start with what has happened today in Parliament. I'm just going to request our people to put out these very specific pictures on our screens. The opposition comes armed with posters. It has the faces of 3 election commissioners on it and the words Vote Chori written on them. Did the opposition go overboard with that and the threats? Dr. Kureshi, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Go ahead, sir. My question to you is this. The first reaction I want from you is of the pictures we've seen from Parliament today. We've been putting them on our screens. The pictures of 3 election commissioners of India and the word Vote Chori written on those posters. Did the opposition go overboard with these pictures and posters and the threats that have been issued today by Rahul Gandhi?
Well, you're right that using such a strong language against the Election Commission is going overboard. And it is very unfortunate a situation has come when there is so much of hostility between the Election Commission and the opposition parties. And there is also, also a fact that the public trust in the Election Commission also has been going down. So both parties need to introspect. And you know, in our time, many times this proposal was made when somebody accuses the Election Commission or abuses the Election Commission, should we not have contempt of court power? We said, no, thank you very much. We don't need contempt of power. We feel that in democracy, everybody has a right to criticize the Election Commission and we should be strong enough to defend ourselves. So we didn't even want those powers. But at the same time, a situation coming to this power that it is opposition versus the CEC or the Election Commission, this is unfortunate. and absolutely undesirable.
Okay.
And something needs to be done.
Okay, but has the Election Commission managed to defend itself successfully? We saw Gyanesh Kumar's press conference. We were expecting to be given a point-by-point rebuttal to all of the opposition's allegations. Did the Chief Election Commissioner, in your view, did that successfully, or do you think he sounded like a BJP spokesperson, like the opposition has been saying?
Well, more than that, I thought this press conference hasn't done anything good for the image of the Election Commission. This sound in the background is actually distracting. Can you get it silent?
Yeah, sure.
I'm hearing that.
Can we have this background sound that Mr. Kureshi seems to be getting reduced? Okay. Please go ahead, Dr. Kureshi.
Yeah. What was the question, please? Can you come again?
Yes,
quickly?
my question to you is what your analysis is of the press conference that the Chief Election Commission, the one that he held actually, because the BJP is saying, the Congress is saying he's, sounded more like a BJP spokesperson more than anything else.
Well, unfortunately, this conference has done no good to the image of the Election Commission. The CEC sounded like an angry schoolmaster. And the kind of language against the opposition, this is not the language of the Election Commission. And people are aggrieved. They have a right to criticize. They have a right to question. And it was not just the opposition. It was the media which was questioning. All those answers should have been, all the questions should have been answered very coolly and calmly. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. And his language and his body language has actually has done more harm to him than good.
Now to the specifics, Dr. Kureshi, is the timing of the SIR exercise in Bihar suspect to you? Logically, any voter list should be revised before an election. What is sinister about it?
Yes, quite right. Actually, to my mind, it's a great error of judgment or a very wrong decision. 20 years ago, conscious decision was taken by the then election commissioner that now that we have electronic voter roll, now that we have electronic photo ID card, instead of intensive revision, and you have to understand what is intensive revision, that the existing roll is thrown into the dustbin and you have to start afresh. The chances are that you will get into deep trouble because you will surely miss out many people. There will be much more mistakes than you have set out to correct. And that time we have taken a decision that the time for intensive revision will have gone. We should only do summary revision. What is the meaning of summary revision? The roll which is there on 1st of January of a calendar year is the valid roll, perfect roll. But in the last 1 year, some people have died, some people have migrated, some people have become 18 and have become eligible. So by going door to door, idea is to correct update those roles by going door to door and find out who are the three categories which I have mentioned. And that is the updation of the role. Abandoning this and doing it ab initio, they don't still realize what kind of deep trouble they have got into themselves, and the problem has just begun. Let's see what happens.
Okay, you're saying the problem has just begun. You are saying that this is opening a Pandora's box when you go down to make an election voter list from scratch. I understand that. But do you necessarily think this is an exercise in vote chori, as the opposition alleges?
Vote chori is more of a political language which is being used, which happens, and we have heard it. We have been victim of that kind of language, but we never took it seriously because politicians in the heat of the moment come to anything. But losing their confidence is not the right thing for the Election Commission. The Election Commission should enjoy the trust of everybody in the nation, particularly the opposition parties. In fact, frankly, when I was there, I used to give preference to the opposition parties because instead of the government, because they are the underdogs. They are people out of power. They are struggling there. And for a good democracy, opposition should have the same confidence in the election commission. They should look up to us as a referee independent rather than a hostile entity.
But how will the opposition have any confidence in the election commission when the opposition asks for, say, for example, the names of people whose names have been deleted in Bihar, right? 65 lakhs of them. The EC says we cannot give it to you, and the matter has to go to the Supreme Court for that list to be made public. In a situation like this, how will there be any trust between the election commission and the opposition?
Correct. So who cut the sorry figure? By denying those figures? Obviously, everything has to be transparent. Say 65 lakhs, who are the people we want to know? So that we can say, look, S.Y. Kureshi is shown as a dead voter, but he's very much alive. So that is what will come out, and their denial, their delaying tactics and dragging their feet was totally undesirable, and it has boomeranged on them. And one thing, surprisingly, Shreya, that while, how many dead, how many duplicate, how many all that, how many new voters have come, that was not even mentioned. And surprisingly, no political party till this morning's newspaper, no political party, no judiciary, no lawyer even questioning how many new voters. Because new voters is always a problematic thing, because that is where bogus voters coming in. That is a possibility which has been there traditionally. We must know who are the new voters so that we can identify that these guys are bogus.
Okay. The leader of opposition has been making some big allegations. He is backing his allegations with data. Is there any precedence or rule that says that Rahul Gandhi has to sign an affidavit under oath to have his complaint investigated? Because that is what the Election Commission is saying. You sign an oath or apologize in 7 days.
I don't think it was a very desirable thing to do. It's a very wrong line to take, because as far as I know, since 1950, not once this kind of question has arisen that it is the opposition's job, people's job to criticize, be critical of election commission, ask them questions, and it is our job to answer them to the satisfaction of everybody and the nation. So to say it in affidavit, suppose they indulge in counterattack. Okay, look, you're saying that these are the rules. Please give us an affidavit that they are mistake-free, and I take guarantee. And if there is a mistake, I'll be held criminally liable. How about that? So this kind of thing, being offensive, it's not a very desirable attitude and behavior.
So there is no rule that says that Rahul Gandhi has to take an oath on affidavit, sign, after which the complaint will be investigated.
I personally don't think so, and I cannot remember any example in the past when the people who made an allegation or complaint, they were asked, and a leader of opposition at that, he's not just a man in the street. He is making allegation, he is asking for some information, and not answering is not the option.
Okay, then should the Election Commission have been large-hearted enough to give the opposition machine-readable, digitized electoral rolls? Because the opposition asked for it. They said there is some hanky-panky going on. The EC said, sorry, the Supreme Court says we don't have to give you these machine-readable rolls, so we will not give it to you.
This attitude that, as if Election Commission, by giving information, with revealing figures, this has been happening for the last 6-7 years. That giving figures is a favor they are doing to anybody or to the nation. Absolutely wrong. I don't accept that position. We have to be transparent. Everything should be transparent. Every information asked for should be given. So dragging your feet and it goes to the court, and when court tells you to do it and then you do it, it is all there. Only the restriction in the digitally readable thing, which has actually happened in our time. There was a case in Madurai. The High Court, somebody that demanded that there are Parda Nashin women, Muslim women who wear burqa, and their photographs should not be taken. So they even went to the court. The case came across. We said, look, we do need photographs, because otherwise we can't identify the voters. But we arrived at a compromise which has been going on since then. Look, when we publish the voter rolls, we will give you digitally, we will give you a roll without the photograph. But we will share the voter roll with the party without the photograph, because photographs can be morphed.
Okay.
But printed copy will have a picture because it is a postage stamp size and no morphing is there is possible. That is a decision which we took and which was upheld by the Tamil Nadu Madras High Court. So, and that has been going on.
Okay. What about the question of CCTV footage? The fact is that the opposition has been asking for CCTV footage. Gyanesh Kumar says, "Behan betis ki privacy ka angle hai." So does the election commission there have a point? We can't share it with you because we don't know where this footage will end up.
Absolutely not. What obscenity is happening? You know, somebody gone behind the screen and voting. Even the Prime Minister's picture is taken and every leader they are shown what secrecy is being violated. As is totally absurd kind of an explanation कि बहनों की privacy क्या हो रही है कि woman goes is she is shown as voting. Who she is voting for? Nobody knows because it is behind the screen. And deeply take, you know, the once Mizoram rebel, I forget the name, he went to vote and a picture was taken and there was a dispute whether a camera should be allowed or not. The then election commission said, please take the picture. And that became a historic picture. I think Lal Denga is gone. We took the picture that he's voting. Simple. And it was a great statement on democracy.
Okay.
So no picture will be allowed. You know, that kind of attitude is not a democratic attitude.
Okay. Specifically to the charge that Mr. Gandhi has made, he says that in Mahadevpura, where the Congress conducted its investigation over a period of 6 months, there were multiple house number zeros. So he says ghapla hai. The Chief Election Commissioner in his press conference says this is very common practice. People who are homeless, they don't have an address. What do we do? What do the block level officers do? वो सबको house number zero दे देते हैं. Is that the precedent? Is that what happens? Is that what the Election Commission does?
Totally silly. Totally rejected because this cannot happen. You know, actually, again, I'll recall my time when Harsh Bandar came to us from Delhi that, you know, homeless people are not getting voter card. We said, look, if they are all citizens of India, even if they are homeless, please tell us the shop veranda on which they sleep at night. That will be their address. We'll only take the evidence of 2 neighboring chowks that yes, this guy, this beggar sleeps here at night. That is enough. Now, zero home. Suppose your name is recorded as house number 0 and I challenge it and I want to go and check where will I go to house number 0?
Okay.
Where the hell is house number 0? What silly arguments are being given and it's not adding to the prestige of the institution.
So essentially, Mr. Dr. Kureshi, you are telling me that the Chief Election Commissioner has fibbed on multiple points, including CCTV, and including this house number 0 issue. Then can I ask you the other big question that was raised? Mr. Gandhi has pointed out to a house number 36 from where 80 voters are registered. Is that something that happens especially in places where there's a large migrant population, or is it an anomaly, as the Election Commission says?
In any case, you know, now that we have computerized the electoral roll, so we can always configure our program in such a way that any house which would say more than X number of voters, 8 voters or 10 voters, it should arouse suspicion. And we will not say it is wrong. It cannot happen. But at the same time, we cannot say it is a reality. So once these are flagged, we should go and cross-check. All we need to do, send the team back to that door-to-door survey that we do and find out whether there are really 36 voters in that house.
Okay. Dr. Kureshi, can I ask you then in your final analysis, you have seen the charges that have been made, you have seen the counter charges that have been made as well. Can I ask you, in your view, what you have seen in the last 1 month or so, whether you feel that the Election Commission is in cahoots with the government to steal votes and win elections?
Well, I would not use that kind of language at all. That will be a political statement. But at the same time, the Election Commission has not acquitted itself very well. It has not shown that it means to be transparent. It is transparent. It has been dragging its feet on all kinds of information, and only when Supreme Court danda comes and if you give that information, and secondly, giving that information is, as I said earlier, is no favor to the nation. You owe it to the nation. That's your job. So as if, I gave you this figure, the figure, that's not acceptable. It's your duty. You should share everything. There should not be anything opaque in the whole entire system.
Dr. Kureshi, I can tell you, first of all, thank you very much for this interview. I know this is the first interview that you have given on the subject, and you have chosen to speak to Times Now, so I thank you for that. And I can tell you after this interview that the Election Commission will not be very happy with you. But that's the price you actually pay for speaking truth to power, as it were. Thank you very much, Dr. Kureshi, for joining us on the broadcast and taking all my questions. Thank you very much indeed. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'll slip into a break. There's more on the other side.